Greetings, all! Today, we'll be examining the relatively common bug poison-type Pokemon Spinarak, the String Spit Pokémon, and its uncommon evolution Ariados, the Long Leg Pokémon. Though they might not seem like the most terrifying of beasts to encounter at first, the members of the Spinarak family are still potent arachnoids that can make life hard for anything that can overwhelm them quickly.
Spinarak have green bodies with dark bluish-green markings on their abdomen that resemble a frowning face, with a ring at the back end of their body, as well as 6 yellow and bluish-green striped legs they use for locomotion. Their head has large black eyes, red grasping mandibles in the front, and a small white horn-like barb on the top of their head. Their evolved form, Ariados, have a larger body frame with a similar setup, but with a red body with black markings, a yellow barb on their backside that marks where the silk string is released from their back end, as well as yellow and purple striped legs, of which only 4 are functional. The back 2 are lifted up and used as a false front to try and confuse others. Their front mandibles have turned a silvery white color to match the larger horn on the top of their head, which faces forward instead of upward now, and they possess large purple eyes that allow them to see in almost any lighting condition.
While they are not true arachnids, Spinarak and Ariados are very much spider-like in the way they behave and also in the way that they hunt and pursue prey, using webs as a way of catching prey and so forth.
In battle, this means that the creatures are able to use string-producing glands to attack opponents from afar, or at the very least help to incapacitate them, namely through the use of their string shot, sticky web, and spider web techniques. It is interesting to note that the Spinarak family is also one of only 3 families capable of using the spider web technique in particular, the others being the Joltik and Dewpider families, and are the only Pokemon able to use the toxic thread technique. This lattermost move is especially potent because these creatures, as a consequence of the poison-type nature, are the only spider-like Pokemon that can actually infuse the toxins into the silk as they generate it, and when they don't get access to this technique until very late in life, it gives all the benefits of the standard string shot technique while also poisoning anything it touches. In addition, Spinarak and Ariados are somewhat unique among bug types for their ability to utilize psychokinetic energy in such a way as to allow them to utilize the devastating psychic attack naturally. While this and some of the other unique moves they learn naturally are shared by a few other creatures, Spinarak and Ariados are still the only bug types able to learn the strange Nightshade attack, and can thus possibly be a bit of a problem for younger trainers.
This is all even further complemented by their capacity to increase their aggression levels when they feel severely injured, and their penchant for living a nocturnal lifestyle, allowing them to have access to swarm and insomnia as possible base abilities. While those that also have a keen eye for dealing incredible damage to target by precisely targeting the weak points can also have Sniper as a hidden ability.
Sadly, however, in looking at their stats, Ariados in particular, it is evident that these monsters are not the best when it comes to professional combat, as the base stats are almost entirely below average for a fully evolved bug and poison-type Pokemon, the base attack stat being the only one of them being above average for a fully evolved Pokemon of both of their types, but they can still prove to be nasty customers to deal with in the wild.
As already noted, although they are not true arachnids, Spinarak behave and hunt very similarly to spiders.
Like spiders, Spinarak are able to walk on walls and ceilings through the use of tiny hooked claws they possess on the tips of their legs. More importantly, Spinarak spin webs from incredibly thin but strong thread, which is sometimes used by fishermen to weave nets for catching fish, as it is strong enough to support the weight of a rock without breaking, and they then wait patiently for prey to walk in or fly into their trap. It takes little time to construct these webs, so Spinarak spend most of the time simply hiding and waiting. In some cases, it may take days for something to enter their web. When something does become ensnared, such as a cutie fly, however, which is a favorite item of them in the Alola region, Spinarak wait until nightfall and then use their poisonous fangs to weaken their prey for a slow meal, as the poison is not yet strong enough to kill said prey outright. The exact reason for this nocturnal feeding cycle is not currently known, but it is believed that it has something to do with the protective cover that night provides for them. Spinarak are also wise as to whether or not they can handle the prey that gets ensnared in their web. By using their web as a secondary nervous system, Spinarak are actually able to figure out what kind of prey is in the web just by feeling the tiny vibrations that run through the web's strands. If their prey proves to be too large or dangerous to confront, Spinarak will bail almost immediately and construct a new web somewhere else.
When Spinarak evolve, a genetic mutation caused their back pair of legs to become deformed and useless, as it become a tool for confusing others more so than locomotion.
This prevents Ariados from effectively grabbing onto suspended web material, but it also grants them increased mobility and speed. As such, Ariados specialize in active hunting instead of passive hunting. In addition to retaining the ability to walk on walls and ceilings, Ariados possess the ability to to generate and spit string from both their mouth and a newly developed barb at the end of their body, which also doubles as a handy tool for delivering fell stinger attacks. At night, this often makes it hard to tell one end from the other, a risk that few creatures find worth taking. While Ariados are considered to be classic nocturnal hunters in the sense that they work quietly and quickly, it is interesting to note that they are intelligent enough to realize which species of Pokemon are communal and which ones are not, taking advantage of situations as they arise. If their prey lives alone, Ariados will quickly encapsulate and constrict them in a shell of string before poisoning and liquefying them for consumption with their venomous fangs which, unlike with Spinarak, are developed enough to enable these species to utilize the Bug Bite and Venom Drench moves in battle, not to mention a Focus Energy technique and a makeshift Sword Stance technique immediately after evolving. If they are communal, however, they will let their prey go after secretly attaching a piece of string to some part of their body. At that point, Ariados will use that piece of string to follow the prey until it arrives back at its nest with its friends or family, taking down the entire lot in one go. It is also interesting to note that Ariados leave behind a continuously spun strand of string leading back to the nest every time they go hunting. If a particular prey or group of prey proves to be too much to handle, this ensures that Ariados always have an escape route planned out, supported in their confidence that will not break. This same confidence is shared among humans using their spun string, often using it to create cloth materials that are quite popular for their strength.
As a fellow bug-type Pokemon, I honestly have to respect the patience and hustle that these creatures have in both the juvenile and adult stages of life, and it seems to work out well for both of them. Spinarak are just utterly adorable with their silly face markings and their penchant for making large webs, and while they might be small, they can still more than prove to be nasty little customers in the right circumstances. Ariados, on the other hand, are terrific predators that are a lot smarter than most would give them credit for being, using their toxins and their silk to wrap up and dispose of prey easily, and even follow them back to their nests to get a whole family for meals in the future. They even have some unique attacks like Psychic to help them badger away the poison types from their territory, even if they can't really use them all that well for actual combat, and in general are a lot more useful as predators in the wild than one might initially think. Sadly, it is true that their forms are not really fit for serious battle, but in the wild, these beasts can be a terror to deal with if their toxic threat technique and other sticky moves can't be avoided or destroyed outright.
Creepy in appearance to many, and more than capable of making the life of others difficult if they get too close, the members of the Spinarak family are unique creatures that can more than make good use of their toxins and silk threads to make life hard for opponents that can't get out of range of their moves. They might underperform against most other fully evolved Pokemon, but for what they are, these beasts can be an absolute terror to face with younger Pokemon.
Just do yourself a favor and make sure that you keep them well fed and don't keep them too cooped up at night. They might not mind a passive lifestyle in the daytime, but if they can't hunt as they are meant to in the hours of darkness, then you might want to keep an eye for strings stuck to the bottom of your shoe, or you might end up getting followed, perhaps to never see morning's light ever again.
Thank you for watching this video. It brings me great joy to be able to speak to you all in the world each and every time we meet like this, to explore the many different facets of both the world of Pokemon as we know it, and the world as we live it, through every adventure we have with Pokemon by our side. If you'd like to, please subscribe, ring the bell and all that jazz, to keep yourself updated on content uploads and other materials of the like. You can also follow me on Twitter if you'd like to know right away when something new is uploaded, and my written works, from which most of this is based on, can be found on DeviantArt. Links to both can be found in the description down below. Remember that the world of Pokemon is a place full of wonder and mystery, and you never know what to expect. So, stay vigilant, keep watch, and always be prepared for the unexpected. Until next time, trainers and friends of all sorts, have a wonderful time.